Good. Now let's start with the 3 steps to regain your clarity and therefore more confidence, shall we? With the star in you. Remember, this comes from when I was shocked at how meaningless my work life felt. I felt like, what am I doing here? Who am I doing it for? And I had even anxiety attacks just thinking about traveling, seeing trains and planes. So I knew I had to change something. I couldn't just live this consultancy life anymore. And I was really struggling with this one question, and that was I really doing something of value? Because time became so precious, and it should be actually all of your life. Time is your most important resource. So, how do you spend your time? How do you spend your energy? Well, so it first and foremost reflects who you are, who you want to become more of, and what fills you up, what makes you thrive and not survive. So these were all the questions that were running in my head, completely overwhelming state. And now what happened that most people now panic and they grab onto any kind of knowledge or tip and trick from the outside realm that they're used to, like a straw to outside leadership, the parents, society, what shall I do? But and becoming more compliant even to feel safe, to feel that they're doing something right in the eyes of another person. They see themselves from the eyes of another person. They outsource responsibility and they have thoughts like, this is good on my CV, this is good on my LinkedIn profile, when it's actually not them. And that will fall on your feet big time if you are not taking responsibility or looking at yourself honestly. I think it gets worse. This is just my experience, the experience with clients that go around in loops and loops and loops until they finally, and it becomes more painful over time, until they finally say, okay, you know what? I shut down everything, all social media, all of the people that are feel that they need to talk to me about it and lead me. No, I'm going to learn to lead myself. But first and foremost, I have to get clear. So this is the base of all, become clear. Always ask, who am I really? What do I really want in life? I know this is kind of painful in that situation because then it's like, but what have I done all of these years? What have I done all of these 35 years? Have I not lived my life? Yes, of course, you have to live the version of your life, but now you truly want to step into who you are and you truly want to make most out of this wonderful time you have on this earth. When you change your perspective, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. I love that quote by Wayne Dyer. And look inwards, I promise you, you will have such an advantage in life because you're not wasting your time with anything that comes from outside. This was a big thing because remember, I was in South Korea trying to find myself outside. I was doing like yoga certificates or coaching certificates primarily to find myself and primarily to get some outside security. And it was completely in fear mode. It was completely based off of lack and not of abundance. And we're states dependent beings. So when we are in fear mode, we move from this wonderful area of our brain, which is important for creative solutions. Here, we can really think and create solutions, and we're not compliant at all. We create, we are proactive. Whereas when we're back here, we're kind of freezed and we wait for something to happen. The shift is really not finding yourself outside, but find to yourself. Most people know what to move out of, but not where towards. We had that in the beginning. And that is the recipe for ultimate stuckness. Clarity comes above all. Yes, then also cleansing and creation. We'll tackle that in another workshop. But this is the baseline for your action and for your energy and for hope on a wonderful life that is not at all based off of overwhelm. To underline that, clarity and simplicity are the antidotes to complexity and uncertainty. And most people walk the program path. So don't feel bad when you're like, okay, well, what have I done all these years? A lot of people are waking up to, okay, well, is that really me? Or was it just somebody who said something that I should, study this or study that because that is nice on the CV? Or the void of a parent who couldn't study, I don't know, business or whatever, and now you're doing it for them. So, what is your soul's calling? I believe that through this process of self actualization that you're on now, doing this workshop, for instance, you will find eventually the balance. I mean, there's this weird concept of work-life balance, which is just living your truth. Because when you're living in your truth, you don't waste energy. And therefore, you're always balanced. Your energy is always balanced. You know what you are doing and you know what you're not doing, because one thing is draining your energy and you're done with it. And the other one's uplifting and not an energy drainer anymore. Isn't that cool? If you find your passion, you'll never work again. And one question I have for you now, do I want to be the star or the extra of my life? Do I want to be the CEO or do I want to be the employee? Do I want to drive my life or do I want to sit and watch? What is the answer? Because shifting to, okay, I'm the CEO now and I drive my life made the whole difference. Success is 20% skill and 80% strategy, meaning clarity. And clarity precedes success. And that's why the star in me is based off on three very, very important elements to become successful, to become crystal clear. One is the purpose. Why am I here? The values that you live by. How do I create life? How do I create choices? And the third one is, where do I want to go? If you know these three things, man, you're ahead. Man, because it will become your pull effect to stardom. So let's go through it one by one. First and foremost, the purpose. It is your wheel. It is your energy, and it is becoming the meaning for your life. And if you want, for your business, it is the security in an ever-changing world. And it is your daily motivation to move forward and create. Here are a couple of things why a purpose is important. I just breeze through it. I'm not going to go into detail. So it provides direction. It motivates and inspires. We had that. It enhances resilience. It increases your self-confidence. It fosters a sense of fulfillment. It is fulfilling. It improves mental and emotional well-being. And multiple studies have shown that people with clear sense of purpose experience lower levels of stress, anxiety, and depression. Purposeful living contributes to improved mental and emotional well-being. It creates your legacy and it ignites continuous growth. It strengthens relationships because it will lead to more meaningful connections with others who are also having a purpose or share your purpose. And that's why why is this picture there? It leads to longevity. Research suggests that individuals with a strong sense of purpose tend to live longer and healthier lives. Purposeful living is associated with positive health outcomes. This is no joke, you all. Purpose is a real big thing. In the Star and Me, we work with the 360-degree purposing formula, just that you know, because oftentimes people think, okay, how do I do that? Is it just, again, an app? No, it's not. It's a bit of work. I mean, we spend 2 modules on that just for you to know. We're not going to go into detail because 2 modules we're not going to tackle here in this workshop, but just that you know that it is work, but it is really, really worth. And now I want to get you into that mode, if you want, by asking yourself, what would I be? What would I do? And especially, what would I invest my energy in if I would have 10 million, whatever amount of money that is just wonderfully enormous on your bank account now? How would your life change? And you can do that now or later to wrap the Star in Me up. Okay. The Star in Me then suggests that we need to become clear of the values. We make 20,000 decisions a day. Some research says 60 to 80,000. This is how research is. It varies. It's tons of decisions a day. And the clarity about your values turns your decision-making process, because that is also part of the overwhelm. Like, we don't know which way to go, into ease and flow. You basically define quality standards for your life, your work, your relationships, like every nitty-gritty thing. And you turn energy drain into energy gain and overwhelm into fulfillment. When you get clear on these values, also check your limiting beliefs. In our masterminds, we get to the point where the values are created, and then at least a couple, let's say a couple of people think, okay, wow, I have created a life completely against my values. It feels heavy, it feels struggling, it feels tiring, it feels like I'm lacking energy. What belief is behind that? And that is, I'm not good enough often, or life is hard. So it is giving you the opportunity to check your limiting beliefs. You can then transform and create an easier life. So for instance, you love freedom, but you chose a corporate job where you're sitting in a cubicle. You're actually a person that values peace, but then you come into this situation over and over again where it's confronting, it's conflicting. You feel like you're fighting all the time in your personal, but also in your professional life. So these are very important steps to see, to make visible, what do I really want and where am I at and how do I get out of that? Here, a client, love was very important for her. Love is who you are. This was a yogi tea bag thingy that she put on herself. And she wanted to live that and create choices based on that and not be overwhelmed all the time by people attacking her. And she got it. She did it. Values makes you proactive, proactively creating life. In the mastermind, we are using the value scale formula, which is going deeper. But now I want you to already create one value that is very important in your life, that you reflect on now, and then think about, okay, how can I enhance this in my daily life? If this is too broad for you, what is the one value I always strive for in life? Whether it's freedom, it's peace, it is love, from your intuition, not from your head, what you think it should be, but really what you always strive for based off of your reflections now. But if this is too broad, go for relationships or communications. What are you always striving for in relationships? Or what is one value that you always strive for in communication? And then the last thing, already, the visions. What are you moving towards? Now you really have the base. Like, the purpose is really like the roots. The values are how you get through life, how you move through life, making new decisions, because new decisions mean new life. And then what are your visions, because they pull you. That's the start and pull effect. They create your desired future. You get unstuck by creating clear visions for every aspect of your life and work, from yourself to your daily life, relationships to work style, to career and perfect environment. Gain focus on direction for achieving your dream scenario. It's like this pull effect, as I said. And it becomes just like the values and just like the purpose, opportunities to declutter your life. And we will come to that in the last part of this workshop. And it also gives you, if you want that, new opportunities for making money without the hassle. The bottom line is, you cannot create unless you know what. You're not a creator. You're just, bouncing around, but not moving towards what you actually want to do. The 360 visioning that we do in the Star and Me is based off of the balanced self, the balanced connection, and the whole work-life integration. And it's all about this energy, all about fulfillment and flow that bring you the balance per se, because you're not losing energy anymore. Visions are extremely important because our thoughts become things. Our pictures in our head, they become reality. And where energy flows, energy grows. So, what are 3 things you want to experience in your life if there were no limits? Let's move towards envisioning. No limits, 3 things you want to experience in your life. And how would that feel? Not overcommitting, not staying stuck for somebody else's comfort, just for you. What do you really want? Take a moment now and go back to your workbook, fill it out, and then I'm so pleased that we are doing the third part of the workshop, doing the inventory. Extremely important, especially when it comes to overwhelm, that we leave out what is no longer in alignment and that we focus on what is. I can't wait. See you then. Bye-bye. Ooh, how wonderful. Welcome now to the last part of this workshop. I hope you're gaining some energy. I hope you're gaining clarity that gives you some confidence in there's actually a way to go. Even though my life looks completely different, I know now where to move towards. I know where my focus goes now from this day onwards. Please, 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 please promise this to yourself that this is important. This is your life. And the last part that is extremely crucial, because yes, we can pop up all of these wonderful purpose, visions, values, but then we have to organize our life based upon that. And it's like you're moving and you have all of these boxes, and 50%, 70%, 20%, whatever is not fitting into your new apartment. So it is extremely, extremely important that you are honestly looking at all of these boxes and say, okay, what goes and what stays? What is really in alignment and fits into my new apartment called life? So what in my life is currently the absolute opposite to my star and me strategy? Make a list of 10 if you like. Maybe you're only having 3 or 4 things. It doesn't matter. But 10 is a really good estimate in broad things, like big things and small things. It can be relationships. It can be things that you consume every single day in terms of media, what you put into your body, also how you spend your time, your daily time. It can be your job, it can be your love life, whatever it is. Make a list of 10, looking at your purpose, at your values and your visions, and based upon that, write it out. And then it's time to let go. Lovingly let go by, first and foremost, we're not taking action yet. This is after the workshop. But now we have to organize it so it is really doable. Now you color code your list. Some of them are quick wins, so they're easy to let go of and change, and you can start with them today. Some of them might be tricky, but still doable, and you can start with them ASAP. And there are some that might need a bit consideration, and maybe they're only due when the others are really ticked and done, and you need some more thoughts on that. Completely fine. I want you to organize them. If it doesn't work with the color coding, just mark them 1, 2, 3. So 1 for the quick wins, easy to let go, 2 for the tricky but doable, and 3 for the long-term tasks ahead. And then you're done. Congratulations for succeeding with the Overwhelm Breakthrough Workshop and really looking at this purpose, at this values and this visions at a first step. I know, or maybe you think, okay, why haven't I learned this in school? I don't know. I really don't know, because this is the base for fulfillment and not functioning anymore. If you want to go deeper, become a pro in surfing life, not controlled by the outside, but mastering yourself, go deeper. The links are down below. I'm not doing a big pitch. You can also book a quick one-on-one. And other than that, stop functioning and start living your life. Put the hand on your heart, please, and just affirm that, yes, I deserve the best and most wonderful life. I am enough. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your energy. It was a pleasure working with you. And till soon, if you like. Bye-bye.